the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. Starring that jet-A Jerry Lace, Rocket J. Squirrel, and his pal, Bullwinkle the Moose.
Hi, glad to see you again.
Likewise.
We got some great things on the show today.
Like what? Like what?
Well, you ought to know, Bullwinkle. You're in some of them.
Well, let's get started.
Last time, as you remember, our heroes had just finished the spring roundup on their worm ranch.
That's spring wound up.
The word is roundup.
What do you do with the spring?
Well, you wind it up and... had just finished the spring wound-up, and we're ready to start the annual Tag Day.
Tag Day?
Every one of them little critters has got to be marked with a lazy J.
What for? What for?
So nobody will steal them.
Steal them?
You mean there's such a thing as worm rustlers?
That's right.
Oh, come on. Who'd be mean enough to do a thing like that?
Hootman, allow me to introduce myself.
Great gobs of goo, Rocky. Will you look at that?
A cowboy wearing kilts.
Aye, laddie, I'm world's only Scotch cowboy. Call me Black Angus. This is mine sidekick, Natasha McTavish.
She's Scotch, too.
Just half Scotch.
What's the other half?
Soda, darling.
We come to sign on his cow hands.
Angus here is champion bull thrower.
Thanks anyway, but we don't raise cows. We raise worms.
Worms?
All kinds. Hook, tape, cut, flat, angle, and measuring.
And today is Tag Day.
We gotta label each and every critter with a lazy J label.
Boris, darling, they're putting us on, no?
Could be, Natasha, but let's play it cool. Och, laddie, could my partner and I watch the operation?
Be my guest.
And our heroes started the weary task of slapping a label on every single worm.
And quite a few married ones.
Hold it, Bullwinkle. That one's a caterpillar.
Oh, I thought he was wearing a raccoon coat.
Boris, they're not kidding. They raise worms.
Taking over this ranch should be easy, Natasha. An idiot could do it.
And you're just the man for the job. But tell me, why do we want a worm ranch?
You forgot plot already?
No, but everybody else has.
Okay. Flashing back as is our custom, you remember we put analyzer on rock from Lazy J Ranch.
And hit jackpot. Boris, what's that stuff?
Who cares? If it's that hard to say, it must be worth plenty. And so that is why we're going to take Ranch away from Squirrel and Moose.
But how?
Easy. We drive her to market for them.
We become ranchers?
Sure. Monkey ranchers.
You mean...
Of course. If I lose whole herd, they go broke. Sell cheap.
And thus it was a short time later that Black Angus was made trail boss and put in charge of taking the herd to market.
But where is the market?
His big fishing resort right here.
But that's 50 miles away.
How are you going to drive a herd of worms 50 miles?
Easy. I got big whip.
One thing, Mr. Black Angus.
Call me Blackie, laddie.
You said your partner, Miss McTavish, was Scotch.
Aye?
Then how come she's wearing those expensive earrings and bracelets?
Yeah, doesn't look very Scotch to me either.
Not so loud, ladies. She might hear you.
Secrets, huh?
We don't like to mention it, but she's the only spendthrift in the whole family.
Big plunger, huh?
Spends money like water.
I haven't spent any water lately.
You mean Miss McTavish is a spendthrift Scotch?
Of course. That's how she got her nickname.
What's that?
Lavish McTavish.
I should have known.
And so a little while later, our heroes were on the trail, beating the ground with sticks to keep the underground worm herd on the move. Little did they know that their trail boss, Boris, was leading them right to the edge of a steep cliff and certain doom for the whole herd. Don't miss our next episode, Aches and Plains or the Old Chisel Trail.
Tell me a fable, Pop, please. Pop, tell me a fable, please.
I thought you didn't like to hear my fables.
Oh, but I do. They're so inimitable. I mean, other kids' fathers do such dull things like building bridges, practicing law or medicine, making great scientific discoveries. But you, Pop, will go down in history as...
Yes, Junior?
superfluous.
Well, thank you, Junior. That was nice of you to say that. Inimitably superfluous. That has a nice ring to it. You really have a way with words, Junior. Well, the title of today's fable is The Hen and the Cat. Inimitably superfluous. Oh, by George. Well, it seems that in a certain barnyard, there was a chicken who was allergic.
Just allergic to cats. I react perfectly normal to all other things. You might think a simple solution would be just to stay away from cats, but I can't. At least one. Tom, you see, well... Tom and I are in love.
That is the craziest thing I ever heard. A chicken in love with a cat.
If there's one thing I cannot stand, it's a bigot chicken. Florence and me were made for each other. And just as soon as she gets over those sneezing fits, we're going to be married.
But, Tom, it seems so... hopeless.
You're right, honey. It's hopeless. In the first place, Florence is a chicken. She scratches around the pen, cackles, lays eggs, and like that. You're a cat. You can't do any of those things.
Yes, I can.
Okay, smart guy. Let's see you lay an egg.
You're forgetting something, aren't you?
What's that?
I'm a tomcat.
Right, and Florence is a chicken. Besides, she's allergic to you.
Don't you listen to her, Florence. Love will find a way.
Florence tried everything, diets, pills, but nothing seemed to help. Every time Tom came around...
It's no use, Tom. Our love is not meant to be. Go. I want to remember you always as you are now.
Don't say that, Florence. Keep a stiff upper beak. I've got a surefire plan.
Oh, Tom, really? Oh, it's all right, Tom. I stopped it.
There, you see.
I wonder if his plan really will work.
So there it is, oh great wizard. Every time I come on the scene, it's Sneeze City. It's enough to make a grown cat cry. Oh, help me, great wizard owl. Help me in my hour of need.
Now leave me to get this straight. You are a cat, right? Right. You were in love with a chicken. Well, it's a wonder you both aren't allergic, but I'll tell you what I'll do. You take this magic potion, patent applied for, and at the stroke of 12, drink it down.
Oh, I will. Thank you, great wizard. Thank you. They said it couldn't be done. Oh, boy. At last, Florence and I shall be wed.
And so, a short time later...
Flo, baby, my troubles are over.
I know, Tom. Isn't it wonderful?
How do you know?
Well, I've got so much to tell you, Tom, but it will have to wait because it's 12 o'clock.
Did you say 12 o'clock?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Now, what did you want to tell me, Florence?
Well, somehow it doesn't seem important now. I mean, what could I possibly have to say to a stupid chicken? In fact, I don't know what I'm doing in this ridiculous chicken coop in the first place.
Why didn't you tell me you gave Florence a magic potion, too?
You didn't ask me. Actually, everything has worked out for the best. You see, Florence wasn't in love with you. It was just the idea of your being a cat. You see, Florence was really allergic to chickens. That's why she was sick. She was a sick, sick chick. Now that she is a cat herself, she no longer has the allergy. Clear?
But what about me?
Well, look about you, Tom.
You mean...
They're all yours, Tom. You are king of the roost.
Here I am, girls.
So, as it turned out, Florence, who was a chicken, really wanted to be a cat. And Tom, who was a cat, always wanted to be a chicken. So it all worked out for the best.
Tom, rise and shine. It's time to wake up the world.
Well, Pop, You've certainly outdone yourself this time.
That was rather superfluous, wasn't it?
I'd say that was the most super superfluous story I've ever heard.
And the moral, Junior?
Moral. At night, all cats are gray. Unless, of course, they're chickens.
Yes, and that's a superfluous moral if I ever heard one.
And now, here's that man with all the wisdom of bygone ages, Mr. Know-It-All.
Thank you, and hello, used wisdom lovers everywhere. Today we take up the problem of how to get your money back if not completely satisfied. For instance, if someone has gave you a useless article, like this aperture flywheel grommet with the vacuum gasket, you can return it and get the money instead. Pardon me, sir. Do you cheerfully refund money if not completely satisfied?
Absolutely.
And there you have it. How to get your money back if not...
Just fill out these 26 forms, please, then into our test cabinet.
But you said...
The first test tells us if the structural strength ratio of the grommets is less than the designed performance assimilator levels.
Oh. Hey, no!
Looks like nothing's wrong.
Well,
Let's see if the problem lies in resistance vibration level.
No, wait,
Well, everything is okay there. I got it! Maybe it isn't watertight.
Now, looky here!
Seems to be in perfect order. Sorry, no refund.
But you said you refund money if not completely satisfied.
That's just it. I'm completely satisfied.
Gosh, Mr. Know-It-All, what are you going to do with your aperture flywheel grommets with a vacuum gasket?
Keep it, I guess. I've really grown attached to it.
Attached to a thing like that?
Yeah. Got my hand caught in it and I can't get it out.
Hello out there, Peabody here. Once more with the help of the Wayback Machine and my faithful boy Sherman, we will journey back into the past.
Who's it going to be today, Mr. Peabody?
William Frederick Cody. We are going to find out how he got the name Buffalo Bill, which was during the time when the first railroad was pushing west and Bill Cody served as head hunter.
Wow, I didn't know Buffalo Bill was a headhunter. Wasn't that illegal?
Oh, please, Sherman. Now set the way back to the year 1867 and the place, the hostile western plains of Utah.
Got it, Mr. Peabody.
The Wayback responded beautifully, and in an instant we were spun back through time, where suddenly we found ourselves in the main camp of the railroad.
Gee, this is exciting, Mr. Peabody. Look at all the men.
Oh, it takes a lot of men to build a railroad, Sherman, and it takes a lot of food to feed the men. That's why it's important to have a man like Bill Cody as head hunter.
Head hunter, but...
Don't you dare say it again, Sherman.
Hey, listen, that sounds like the dinner bell.
Yes, and you know that's rather strange.
Strange? What's so strange about a dinner bell?
Oh, I didn't mean the bell, I meant the men. Look at them. Sherman was quick to see what I was referring to, for the men who usually answer the dinner bell by clawing, rushing, and yelling to the chuck wagon were simply standing there.
Gosh, Mr. Peabody, could it be that they're not hungry?
That, Sherman, would be impossible. Follow me. We'll go to the chuck wagon and see if we can find the meaning of this phenomenon. Arriving at the chuck wagon, I asked the cook if he knew what the difficulty was.
Of course I know. Here, taste this stew and see for yourself.
This just tastes like water.
That's because it is water. Water stew. It's all we've had for 6 months.
No wonder the men don't want to eat.
Couldn't you put a little something more substantial into the stew to make it a bit more appetizing?
Not until Bill Cody brings in some meat, I can't. You see, he's our head hunter, and...
That's, head hunter.
Yeah, and he's been hunting back in them hills for months, but so far hasn't brought in a thing. That'd be him out there now.
A short time later, we arrived at the spot where Bill Cody was doing his hunting, only to find him doing a very peculiar thing.
All right, I seen you go in there. Are you coming out, or do I have to come in after you?
I beg your pardon, sir. Do my eyes deceive me, or are you really after that rabbit?
You bet your little blue booties I'm after him. Been after that snicky little critter for weeks now, but I'll get him.
You see, the boys down at camp are waiting for meat.
I know, but I hardly feel that one rabbit will be enough to feed 200 hungry men.
Yeah, maybe not, but there's more to it than that, mister. I'm out to make a name for myself. So I figured that by taking back a rabbit to the boys, they'd call me Bunny Bill, and I'd be famous.
Bunny Bill?
Yeah, you like it?
I'm afraid you'll never become famous with a name like that.
Really? Shucks. Then I'll have to think of something else. Say, these hills is full of quail. How about...
No, I'm afraid Quail Bill won't get it either. If you'll allow me, perhaps I can make a suggestion. Facing him toward the valley below, I pointed out a vast herd of buffalo, which I explained would not only supply plenty of meat, but would also be the source of a most colorful name for him.
Buffalo Bill! Say, now, that does have a nice ring to it. Oh, but I couldn't shoot a nice-looking critter like that. Reminds me of a little old gal I was a-courting back in Missouri.
Well, never fear, Mr. Cody, for as always, I have a plan. A plan that will allow you to get the entire herd of buffalo without firing a shot. Follow me. The first part of my plan called for Mr. Cody to remove his shirt and trousers, which he did.
I still don't get it. How can me standing out here in my red flannels help get them buffalo?
Oh, very simple. You see, the leader of every herd is always a large bull buffalo, and all bulls will chase anything they see that's red. I believe he's seen you now.
The whole herd is stampeding straight for me. What'll I do?
Why, lead them to the camp, of course.
Yipe!
A short time later, Sherman and I arrived on the scene.
Golly, Mr. Peabody, look at that.
Yes, Sherman. Bill Cody has supplied the railroad with all the buffalo they'll need for a long while.
Yeah, and doing so, he became known as the one and only Buffalo Bill. Right, Mr. Peabody?
Wrong, Sherman. There were 2 Buffalo Bills.
2?
Yes. You see, when a count was taken, it was learned that Bill Cody had delivered no less than 4,280 buffalo. So it goes without saying that when he went to get paid for his work, he must have turned in the biggest Buffalo Bill in history.
Last time, you remember, marked the start of the big underground roundup as our heroes start to drive their herd of angleworms to the nearest fishing resort 50 miles away. Rocky thumped on the ground to keep the herd moving while Bullwinkle used his own mine detector to round up strays. But unbeknownst to our friends, their trail boss, the world's only Scotch cowboy,
Black Angus at your service,
was in reality Boris Badenov, their old nemesis.
Why is you never hear of young nemesis?
Boris, of course, was determined to ruin Rocky and Bullwinkle.
But, Boris, darling, how you're going to do it?
His lead pipe cinch, Natasha. I lead herd over this cliff. No worms, no money, no rents.
Then we move in. Take it off their hands for nothing.
Well, the price is right.
Oh, Boris, you such a well-trained villain.
Why not? I'm old university grad.
What university?
SC.
Southern California?
No, scoundrels and crooks.
Oh.
Magna cum laude.
Unaware of Boris's fiendish aims, Rocky and Bullwinkle continued driving the herd toward the cliff.
Get along there, herd! What's so funny, Bullwinkle?
I was thinking how silly it'd be if anybody was watching us on television.
Yeah, no fear of that.
They wouldn't have the faintest idea what we were doing.
Yeah, but on the other hand...
What?
Do they ever?
I see what you mean.
It was at that moment that the first of the herd wiggled out from the face of the cliff and dropped into space.
Boris, your plan is actually working.
What do you think you're dealing with? Kids or something?
But at last, Rocky began to catch on.
Hey, isn't that the edge of a cliff up there?
You're right. The whole herd must be going over. Come on.
Boris, here they come. How you're going to explain this?
Watch. Och, laddie, the wee bairns didn't pay attention to my directions.
If the herd's gone over the cliff, we're ruined.
And they would have been if luck hadn't smiled on our heroes.
Again?
Yes, it seems that there was a very strong strain of silkworm in the Lazy J herd, and by the time they had fallen halfway, each tiny creature had spun itself a small parachute.
Why, them smart little rascals.
Yes, our heroes had been spared by a rare stroke of fortune.
Them she strokes. Me, she gives a belt in the mouth.
Not only that, but by gathering up the discarded shoots at the bottom of the cliff, our friends found themselves with a stock of 40,000 silk handkerchiefs.
How thoughty. Takes care of our Christmas shopping for next year, too.
Come on, Mr. Angus. Hey, where'd he go?
Here's a note pinned to this rock.
I'll tack the high road, and you tack the low road. Signed Black Angus.
What's that mean?
It's Scotch dialect for I quit.
But not far away, the two villains were still plotting our hero's downfall.
Well, you failed again, Boris.
Time to check Fireside Crook book. And, oh boy, why didn't I think of this before?
Because you stupid. Pretty funny, eh, darling?
Natasha, double-cross me, I understand. Stab me in the back, it's just business. But top me in jokes, you're dead pigeon.
Sorry, darling. What is plan?
Anything I can't stand it. Smart, Alex, straight woman.
Yes, Boris.
Remember who is star of this show?
Yes, Boris.
Remember who is #1 big shot?
Yes, Boris.
Remember who puts bread in your mouth?
Sponsor.
You said it. Now, here's my plan, darling.
Oh, darling. Not.
And on hearing the plans, even the cold-blooded Natasha fainted dead away. Well, what terrible thing does Boris have in mind for our friends?
I'm afraid to say it out loud.
Why?
I'm afraid I'll faint myself.
We'll find out next time in Bucket-Headed Bullwinkle or Pale-Faced Moose.
I guess that about wraps up another Rocky show.
Certainly hope you enjoyed it. I did. I always say...
Bullwinkle, time for us to go.
Already? Okay, but first, here are some of the people who made this show impossible. Get tired. Oop! Got away from me again.
Well, see you next time. Ready, Bullwinkle?